watching the Rockstar Diaries TV show.
This week I was reminded again just how fragile and precious life really is. We pause to honor those we have loved but lost due to cancer. Life is short, so love fiercely, forgive quickly, and live full out. Love like there's no tomorrow. Join us in Journey of a Song while we celebrate courage, resilience, and the unstoppable heartbeat of the human spirit.
Oh my gosh, I hope I don't cry while I say this, but we just got back from Portland and Seattle. We did a mini tour for Music is Healing, and we had the opportunity to visit with our dear friend Roger Fisher. You may know him as the original guitar player of Heart. This next song, we started talking about moms on the last song we sang. Well, this song is all about brothers. And Michael Fisher, who is his best friend, who was instrumental in those songs, Magic Man, Barracuda, all of those songs, just died. And he was just diagnosed 3 months ago, so he went quick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you take over for now because this next song is called Open Your Eyes, and it's actually originated with my lovely, amazing husband who is the monkey in the cage with me. I tell you what.
I tell you what. Well, what's kind of amazing is when you grow up with a brother and they help you through life. My brother's 8 years older than me. So he's been very instrumental putting me in the path of people that can help me in my music journey. Just like Michael was for his brother Roger. Because he basically managed the band Heart and engineered their albums and all that. So he was a big part. And we actually got Roger to talk to my brother on the phone because my brother's going through a difficult time. He has stage 4 cancer. And he didn't even know it at the time his brother was going to die a couple of days later. And he was speaking hope into my brother, and I'll never forget that. So, because this song was originated with my brother, but we're talking like in the 70s. And he just started doing this exercise on the guitar and putting some lyrics to it. And then I kind of followed up with it and put the chorus to it. And then we kind of like taped it. Never went anywhere, never did anything. Shelved it. And I started just jamming and playing this riff for her. And then, she's an amazing top liner. She knows her stuff. So she heard it. She's going, wow, I'm going to really do something with that. So I said, oh, hey, let's go to town. Well, and it kind of honors my brother because it leaves a legacy for him as well. For us, this is on our album. This song is called Open Your Eyes, and it is a mental health song.
Open your eyes and find you lost reality. Look up from way down there and find out someone cares. Unpack your clothes and things and find yourself a pair of wings, and we can fly away back to here. Don't be sorry to say goodbye. I know you will find your way to live again out loud. I'm not sorry to see you go, my friend, 'cause I know you will find your way back to here. Open your eyes and see your new identity. Break through the atmosphere. We want and need you here. Unpack your heaviness, clear out the monsters of the past, and let's find our way back to here. Little love, don't be sorry, sorry to say goodbye, 'cause I know you will find your way to live again out loud. I'm sorry, sorry to see you go, my friend, 'cause I know you will find your way back to here. Open your eyes. Open your eyes, my friend. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Na na na. Na 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 na. Na na na. Na 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 na. Na na na. Don't be sorry, sorry to say goodbye, 'cause I know you will find your way to live again out loud. Live again. Sorry to say goodbye, friend, 'cause I know you will find your way back to here.
Listen up now, people, from every corner of the world. We got a message for you, and we want to make it heard. Heart and soul, soul and heart. No, I saw them to keep apart under the moon and sun. The rain that falls, all is one, and one is
Welcome to Rockstar Diaries TV show. This is the lovely Janine. I am Mr. Tracy Lee Smith, and we're here with the awesome Tamara Hunter.
She is like a sister. We've only known her for a few months, and I already feel like I've known her my whole life. She is the most amazing human being that I've met in a long, very long time. What she's been through, what she's doing to do that rock star ripple effect, which is what we want. And we're just so excited to have her, right?
Let's get her on the show and let's hear her talk.
Woo! Hello!
I love you guys. You know, I was laughing as you were saying my name because it's all of the above, Tracy.
Okay.
I mean, because I not to just start in, but you know, it's kind of funny because when I was born, it was Tamara.
Okay.
Because I had a different last name, and then I was adopted to my stepfather. His last name was Early. Now I was a shy child, so Tamara Early didn't necessarily work well. So that's when it became Tamara. So that's why I answer to anything, even Tamara.
Oh, it sounds like me. My mom wanted to be different and spelled my name Ginine. It's the French way to spell Janine. But growing up, I was called Jenny, Jeannie, everything. And I stopped correcting them.
Well, my mom swore up and down that Tracy was a guy's name first, but now I have to go by Mr. Tracy everywhere I go. Taking it over, I'll tell you what.
Oh, Tamara, we just love you. And we are hoping that you could just take a minute for those who don't know you. We're going to go off screen here to just talk for a minute.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, my heart's in sync with these rock stars, and I'm grateful to be with all of you. And a little bit about me. Yes, you now have the secret of my name, and I show up every day to serve. That's what I'm here for. It really, truly. And I feel like, many of us had those stories in our lives, right? That, we show up and life gives us these opportunities. Some call them challenges to survive and get through. And I believe in thriving and that ripple effect. Absolutely. And so what do I do these days? Well, I actually kind of met them through the Next Impactor because way back in the day, Trajectory TV, Dr. Lauren Harris, he started the Next Impactor, and I won that. And so it allowed me to meet all these wonderful people. And why did I join that? Well, it was because I believe that we can heal through connections. Don't you think that this world needs some healing? And if we all join together, we can do that. And started a while ago a community through a 501c3, cb4l.org, because we really believe that those that are facing life's challenges should do that together. And with about a ton of humor, hope, heart hugs, and a whole lot of love. And with that, I've been able to go out and share that message and been, involved in books and became a best-selling author a few times and gone out there on stages. And then also E360 TV, you may recognize me from the Let's Talk Fabulous show currently, and also the Tour of Love show, the Service Hero show, have had a few shows on the network. And it all comes back to service. How can we show up for each other? And I love the rock stars. Yes, they're my brother and sister already, even though it's been such, it's like, we've known each other forever. And that's what I love about life. When you show up, you find those people that sink in, right? Sink, wink, wink, with our hearts.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. You taught us so much about what it takes to host a TV show. It's so much more than that. And what I've noticed about you is you inspire, people gravitate towards you, and you inspire so much. You have this, that's your superpower, is encouragement and inspiring.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. When we met in Florida, it was that kind of immediate, connection. And then to have you on the Let's Talk Fabulous show. And that was a fun show that we did with Aaron, the president of the network, and then our CEO, and another, and Jeff, who you just had on the show, last night. And we had a fabulous time. And we were able to also, because it was about service, and we were able to feature your song, which beautiful song about service. And that's what it's all about. And I think sometimes we overthink it. I don't know about you guys, but I think sometimes we overthink about showing up in the day. And I just like the surprises of showing up and like, how is that going to work? Like, I didn't know I was going to get to meet you going back to Florida. What an amazing gift. And here you guys are, and I loved it because, when you're talking Mr. Tracy, Mr. Tracy Smith, right? Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And you're there taking a picture, and I hadn't quite met you guys yet. And I'm watching, and I'm like, oh, cool. Oh, I got to get to know these guys. Because it was immediate. You went right into your persona, and I'm like, oh, that is so much fun energy.
It is fun. I tell you what, let's talk fabulous.
Yes.
I want to ask you, because Rockstar Diaries, the term rock star is different for us because we feel you're a rock star. It's anybody in this world that is taking their pain to purpose, their trauma to triumph and doing a rock star ripple effect. I want to know, let's talk fabulous. Fabulous. What does that mean to you?
You're going to crack up when you hear. You're going to crack up. I mean, there was this contest, Fab Over 40, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm willing to do this and win another contest together, like we do, you know, because we're a group, and I don't mind being a front person. What do you guys think? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So when I did the Next Impactor, I had Service Hero Show, and so I would go out there, and my whole thing was, it wasn't about me, it was about them, right? The guest. And why are you the next impactor? So I was able to feature a lot of the people that ended up, if you will, running against time with me, right? Well, I thought, okay, I need to have a show if I'm going to run for something. And at the time, we were going to bring back the Tour of Love show. So I went to Aaron at E360 TV, and I'm like, okay, I got an idea. You know, how about if I do, and originally it was called Let's Talk Fabulous with Tamara. And because I had so many people want to come on, Service Heroes, but it was only one person at a time. I'll do a panel, and it will be a limited series, and yada yada, right? Well, I start it, and it takes off. And I'm like, I can't close this down now, you know, and so that's when I was back there, and we were talking about having other hosts come on, because I was ready to go on to something else. And so that's why I started bringing other hosts on as guest hosts. And it was still called Let's Talk Fabulous with Tamara. And they did it for about a year. Others were hosting. And that's when we included now we have the Fab 5 hosts, you know, we rotate. And it's all about exploring our fabulous lives with a panel and entertaining. That's why original music and such. And so I actually had that, and that's why I was laughing when you asked, because I had that discussion today about the name Fabulous, today, with one of my people. And I'm like, you know what, we're redefining fabulous, you know, because you look at what others have done with that word, it's okay. But we are redefining it to go into, if you will, a higher frequency. You know, when you think about joy, we think about some of these, you can even scientifically, they'll say, oh yeah, that's at whatever level, you know, and on the scale. Well, you know what? I think outside the box. Let's do fabulous up there. So that's what we're doing. We're redefining fabulous to be up in that higher level frequency. And so thank you for asking. You can help make that happen.
Higher level frequency.
Yes. We're going to be right back.
You're watching the Rockstar Diaries TV show.
Hi, I'm Julie. Welcome to Opening Bell Coffee. Please come and hang out with us. We got great coffee and even better vibes.
Hello, you guys. My name is Diamond. I work at the Plano Outback. Make sure you guys come see me, and I'd be happy to take care of you guys. Thank you.
She's awesome.
Thank you so much. Of course.
We're back! Woo! With the Tamara Hunter, who is fabulous.
She's Mrs. Fabulous.
We are redefining the word fabulous, and I love what you said about that.
Yes, and we promised when we went on break, we were going to bring up the C word, because, you know, there's a lot of people out there. This is it's like everybody's getting it nowadays. And what is it? Is it the food we're eating, the dyes, or whatever? What is it? The environment we're in? Because we didn't have this stuff years ago. We don't know, but we need prevention on how to slow this down, stop it, get it out of our lives. Tamara, what do you do to prevent something like that coming into your life?
Well, thank you for asking, Tracy. And I will say, when we were on break, you asked if I didn't mind sharing what type. You know, I call it my duck. It was a duck. I don't call it mine anymore because I don't usually use that word. And I notice how you said C word. Yet, when you look at my book of life, when you look at the diagnosis, I was diagnosed at that time with breast cancer. And one of the things when I've gone out and spoken, I really think one of the big issues is that we need to be aware and test early, because when you can find something early, you can take care of it early. So one of the things, I was a poster child on what not to do, because I had so many other things in my life. I was too busy to go take those tests. And thank goodness I finally did. And when I did, they found what they found, and I was able to be proactive and then take care of it. And I think that language is a big part of things too. That's why I'm really big about, I'm about educating myself and then those that I'm out there with, that even the power of our words. Do I claim it? No, I'm not claiming it. It is a chapter in my book of life. I say, that I had a duck, and there's a joke to that. And I'm no longer claiming that. And so I think the power of our words, it can start even as simple as that. Go for testing. Don't be afraid, because the thing about it is fear is a lower level. If we talk about the frequency levels, it's a lower level, and there's no reason to be afraid. That's the thing too. And I have a global community of people that some have been quote unquote stage 4 and everything, and they've been living for a long time and living a fabulous life because that's in their mindset. It is coming from their heart. It's in that place. Yet we need to think in terms of, yes, being healthy, the healthiest that we can be. Yet I will say, don't let that play tricks with you too, because I've known so many that say, oh, I was doing everything I could do and I still got that call.
Yep.
And I look at it in a bigger light, in that I am a believer, and I believe that we are given things as opportunities to grow and grow through, and in truth, and sometimes this will shock people, but in truth, if you're a believer, you get this, there's a season that we live, and there's a season that there's that dash, and then there's that other number. So, we're here for so long. It's making the most of today. And you brought up some very, very solid points. Can we do something to make our world a better place? Absolutely. And we want those that are called to do it. If you know how to make our water cleaner, go and do it. If you can make our food cleaner, go and do it. If you can encourage people to have a better night's sleep, go and do it. Do it for yourself, do it for others. And find that fabulous in your own lives to go do it. Yet the balance is, if you're not being called to do it, don't worry about it. Find those others that do and support them, and then find what is your fabulous and show up. My big thing is service. I really do encourage service of all types, and it might start and end in service to yourself, and that's great. That's fabulous in itself. Yeah, if you have that energy, like the song that you have, and you sang with the beautiful woman, and you tell the story on Let's Talk Fabulous about how that all came together during the pandemic. And if you have that energy to go out and serve others, find what makes you tick, find your joy, find that passion inside of you, fuel it, and then share it with others. And those little activities, believe it or not, it will help that DNA, because my doctors and nurses were the ones to convince myself and my original buddy. The big thing is, the take home is, don't face life alone. Find your buddy, find that rock star, go out there and do the ripple effect. Go out there and serve, go out there and be your fabulous self and feel good about it. And that in itself is going to help and my doctors and nurses would tell you, because they shared that the people that were sad and feeling alone and were not as sick were the ones that didn't make it. The ones that were sicker, but they were with others and they knew they'd make it, they did. So a lot of it has to do with that energy of mindset, belief, sharing your joy and love with others.
Yes.
And then showing up to your life and making it fabulous. Every single moment counts.
I do want to say this though. Booby check. Women, go have your boobies checked.
Yes.
You have to do it. In fact, mine is this September, and it is so important. A lot of women, younger women, are afraid to do it. They think it's going to hurt. It is so important.
You know, not everybody knows this about myself, though. I was married before Janine. I had 30 years to my wife.
How dare you? No, I'm just kidding.
And she went through an 11-year battle with breast cancer. And I'm sure your family has kind of gone through this thing, because it affects everyone in the family, not just the person who has it. So instantly the man in me, well, there's got to be a solution. I need to find a solution. I need to find what works best. What can knock out this stuff? Is it B12? Is it apricot seeds? Is it get soy out of your diet? What is apple cider vinegar going to help? I mean, all the stuff. We research everything. Did your family go through that too?
You know, they did and they didn't. One of the people in my family is a medical person, and we did more of the things, because when you show up with, you know, the thing about it is if you're diagnosed, you show up how you are, right? You know, and I already had autoimmune issues when I showed up to that chapter in my life. And so what we did, it was pre-COVID, yet like when COVID showed up and we needed to do the COVID drill, it was like, oh, we've already done that, because I had to go into isolation immediately. I wasn't allowed around family members. We did it more the preventional things, because when and meeting with my team, I did a lot of research. In fact, that's why the funny thing about the duck is that I knew I'd be okay. I just knew it. I just knew I would be, but I knew I needed the team I needed. And so I started calling immediately. I have a duck I need to deal with. And people are like, you got a duck? And I'm like, because when I went for testing, I knew the person that did my testing, but yet they, because of liability issues and HIPAA and everything, they couldn't tell me what they saw. But it was just like, if it looks like a duck and acts like a duck, it's most likely a duck. And that's why I was like, okay, it's a duck. I see it. It's a duck. Okay, what are we going to do with this duck? And so what we did was we went into the preventative things for my system, because you have to look at the individual. Like, okay, so, and I found with my clinic, I found a clinic that was international in thinking, because it was a dual citizen founder of the clinic, a doctor. They have to work within protocols, and this is getting into the weeds for some, but you know, you have medical protocols that you have to follow. Yet you have traditional, you can do adjunctive, or you can do alternative therapies, right? Well, I wanted an adjunctive clinic that was a little bit more forward thinking and would educate, because I like to be a partner. And I found that group. And so what we did was over communicate, because that's what I wanted to be a part of the solution. Found out what I could do alongside with traditional, because I did go traditional, but did, you know, things like, you know, I could do acupuncture or acupressure. I could do different, like there were certain vitamins or this or that worked against, and there were some that worked for. So yes, the bottom line is, and then what my family members did, and asking about the family members, and my daughter was willing to do it. And I said, no, don't. But all the men in my family shaved their heads, because I lost my hair.
Oh.
So in solidarity, they all shaved their heads too.
Wow.
Yeah, even, you know, my dad, all of the men in my family, they all did. And that was so sweet. And so then my daughter had hair as long as yours, Janine. And I'm like, no, don't even think about it.
Oh, yeah.
But she was willing to.
I kind of did that too.
Oh, when
I
Peg.
didn't have it totally shaved. It was a crew cut. And it was not a good look for me. I tell you straight up.
And then he had to play we digress, but he was playing a priest in this one little short film, and they made him cut his hair really, really short, and he didn't like that.
I do
at
need a
all.
haircut now.
He
though,
does need it. I want to backtrack and piggyback off of what you said about isolation, because guilty. Back then, I don't want to go into detail, but I was very guilty of that. And when I made the transition out of isolating myself and into community, consistent community, it's not just friends and family, it's your chosen family.
Yes.
It made a huge difference. We talked during the break or before we were recording about the monkey in the cage with you. And it absolutely is true. When they did that study on the monkey, yes, and we've got our monkey right here too, the orange one, if you could see it. Yes.
Yeah.
They did a study on monkeys, and it is kind of sad to hear about this, but they wanted to do some stress tests on this monkey and see all of its levels, cortisol and all of that. And they skyrocketed out of the roof. And as soon as they put another monkey in the cage and they did the same exact testing, their levels went down by more than a half. It is so important. I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I know a lot of people out there feel like they do need to isolate. Pandemic brought that into our world, as far as we had no choice. I think about the folks that died in the hospital alone because their families couldn't be there. And every time I would pray wholeheartedly, because I just can't even imagine that.
That was a sad time. Really was.
Yes. Did you have that one person or that one chosen family? And I apologize. We forgot to shut our door to the studio, and I have a dog. You might have heard our Persian. That's why I had to pick her up.
I'm loving it. It's like I'm such the I'm like I love animals, and so I'm like, oh, you did that on purpose for me. Thank you.
And this is proof that this is real life. That, like he said, we're not about perfection. We're about progress.
Okay. She's gonna tell. This is my motto now. This is what I learned from doing this TV show. She didn't adopt this yet. She might, but here's my motto: don't be afraid to be stupid, act stupid,
and be stupid,
with no regrets.
I'll say, I want to respond to both of you, because I'm going to go with Tracy first, because go back to even the show when you guys were on with me, and I had a monitor blowout right as we started, and I'm like, hi, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm supposed to say something, and I said exactly what I didn't want to say, and I didn't say what I wanted to say, but it's like, you're live, you got to go, because on our show we are live. And you just show up, and I'm always laughing to myself, oh, wow, we had a really good show. Wow. Who would have ever thunk it? Because it's like, you expect it, because life can be messy, yet it can be that fabulous life in embracing the messy, right? And so I love what you're saying, be willing to show up and all of it. And then back to the community piece, Janine, the thing about it too with us that we really stress is that it's both. And this is the thing that people don't get, is I was isolated because and this is the big part of the take home in all of this. Because of my autoimmune issues, I needed to physically be isolated from people. And I was. Yet I wasn't, because I ended up and I didn't have social media, and that's another story, but I didn't have social media, but I always had my anniversary on the day I met my original buddy, because we started Messenger on that. And I lost my voice because of the chemo source on my vocal cords. And so I couldn't even speak. So I couldn't talk on the phone. I couldn't, and then I couldn't see anybody face to face. They didn't allow me to. But I wasn't alone, because I had Messenger. And we would have the most interesting conversations. And then as we started building our community, and we had specialists come in, and especially during COVID, we did this. We were live multiple times during the day with all of our people. And what we found is that our minds don't necessarily remember if we were in the room with each other or if we saw each other through the camera. They just remember the connection. And so that's the thing of community. It can be, even if you have to be isolated and alone for health reasons, okay. You don't have to be isolated and alone from community because you are physically removed from people. There's a difference. And that is the thing that we really stress. And we get together every Friday night within our organization. And oh my goodness, it's just like, and we're just typing, even like I did on Messenger. We take that, and we have the most love, and we're laughing, we're crying, we're everything, and we're typing. Yet we may have some people on air, that are facilitating the chat. And that's the thing that people, you don't have to overthink it again. It's like community is where we are today. Like right now, this is an example of community. So that's what I wanted to bring up.
Amen. Oh my gosh.
You're watching the Rockstar Diaries TV show.
Forgive me, but I got to tell this story now. It just came to my mind. It's just like really wild. My wife first got I'm laughing. My wife first got cancer, and at the time she was working at the church. It's a pretty big church, and she was also on the praise team in the church. And once the church finds out you have cancer, everybody brings you the casserole.
The food tray, yeah, got it.
I had a big fridge. Because I have 4 kids, and 3 of them are boys, and they know how to eat, right?
Yeah, right.
So I had a big fridge, and I had a real big stand-up freezer. It was full. I mean, full, and they were still bringing it. And I remember the music minister. His name is Wayne, and Wayne, I'm sorry. He came to the door with a big bucket of KFC, and I'm like, "Oh no, you didn't."
Oh no.
And it's like he's just like frown on his face. And I said, "No, you got to eat it with us. We just can't. It's just too much." It's like they got to have a system like every other day, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
That's the community. That was really that was amazing at the time. It really was.
And that's where I applaud community and the fact that church family showed up like they did. And this is the thing that I want people to hear and embrace, is that many times when someone hears something, it could be the C word, it could be anything traumatic. The immediate reaction for others is, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know. And many times it's like, okay, food is that healing property. It's that comfort, like you think of grandma, you think of this or that, and that comfort food kind of situation. And it's the bigger picture here is showing up with your hearts. That's really, it's hearts in sync. Right. You have that Rockstar ripple effect. And each one of you out there, if someone in your life is facing trauma, and you're right, Tracy, is that so many people right now are. It is an epidemic. You look at any of the world organizations, and cancer used to not be on the epidemic level, and now they are. Yeah, it is. Let's just be real. And it could be all of the above. Yet, what can we do to counteract that? And I think it's coming from our hearts in sync. And my doctor and nurses were the ones to talk me into, and my original buddy, into going out there and sharing this message, because they couldn't because of HIPAA laws, but they really literally believed that if we can get our hearts and our minds around the fact that Number one, we will survive. Number two, we can join together to survive together. Number three, we can share that love and that frequency. And you start doing that realization of the science. Science backs this up, guys. And so how can we show up in this situation with food? Yes, the food trains, the family. It is the biggest thing is show up with your hearts in sync. Really, truly, because
We need to hire you to be our promo agent.
oh well, yeah, I'm already out there promoting you guys all the time. I believe in you guys. Because we need to be there for each other, and that's
Yes.
what really, when it comes to it, is how are you showing up today? And if you're showing up today with a poopy day, okay, my kids and anybody, I have this that anybody can go get it for free, a PDF on cb4l.org. Go to the bottom and you can just get this for free. And it's a celebration journal. And in the celebration journal, I wrote this years ago. And in it, I talk about chocolate days. Now, when my kids were little, we had some trauma, many do, and we did. And so every once in a while, we would have what was called a chocolate day. Yes, I went and bought chocolate. Bad mommy. Okay, whatever. They didn't get much of it, but every once in a while, it would be like, okay, yes, we're going to get chocolates. We'll close the blinds. We'll watch movies. We'll stay in our jammies. We'll do all of this for a day, chocolate day. The next day, life starts back up. Windows are open, make your bed, get dressed, let's go, let's do this. No more chocolate today, but it was every once in a while we need a chocolate day. So when I told my original buddy about my kids and chocolate days, she's like, oh, I want those. And it was kind of against our diet then, but we did figurative chocolate days every once in a while. And that's when it would be like, okay, pity party or woe is me or da 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 da. But other than that, we had each other to boost each other up and see the positive and that mindset. And so every once in a while, if you're having a chocolate day, okay, embrace it. But then tomorrow, show up to life again. And because we all need that downtime and not to beat ourselves up, to be real with ourselves. But each day is an opportunity to show up, to shine. And
Shine your light.
yeah, exactly. Yes.
Can I ask a question, or did you have a?
I just wanted to say, last week when we lost the AC in our house, we had ice cream days almost every day, and we really needed it.
Yeah, we ended up with some extra ice cream, which we normally don't have, and that was a God thing because that was what we had. Go ahead.
One thing I wanted to say, though, when you were talking about community and people show up in time of need, I can say undoubtedly that even why did that originally happen with the cancer and all that? Why? But God showed up. I am a testimony to all the miracles that happened. We don't have enough time today to talk about all the miracles that happened in that time span that only could be explained by God doing it. So I just want people to know that, He's there always through all this.
Yes, He is.
Yes.
Absolutely. I do want to say another thing about showing up, because it's difficult when you're in a new endeavor. So I'm trying to say this with kind words. Being a TV show host is not easy, especially when you're dealing with technology. You have been a huge support. In fact, you took the time to meet with us for a couple hours and go through some things with us.
Yes.
And the other day, I got a little bit discouraged, and because of, I won't go into detail, but we all get discouraged. We're not, mindset is everything. And we do have those chocolate days, right? Yeah. So I reached out to a friend of mine, and she said, keep showing up. You're not always going to see the bright, shiny lights in front of you or the rewards right in front of you. Not that we're doing it for rewards, but any sort of, just keep showing up. And she said, please, Janine, keep showing up, because what you're doing is making a difference. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to ask you a question, because we just submitted our trademark for Badass Lioness, and we're so excited about it. And we work with a lot of folks that are in the next chapter of their life. What do you say to those people, women or men, that want to go out and make a difference but feel too small or feel like they can't make a difference?
Mhm.
What are those epic words that you want to say to our audience right now?
Well, I can speak to even myself, and when I share my story, I'm like, okay, no, I get it, because truthfully, you think about every single odd that would be against Tamara winning the next Impactor, having TV shows, everything like this. When I was born, my mouth was formed wrong. No one could understand me. I would swallow and I'd spit while I'm swallowing. I had headgear. I was allergic to the sun and lived in Southern California. I mean, God has a sense of humor, and he used a lot of it with me. And yet I had the perfect mom for me. And, that's a whole nother story too. But it was like, okay, don't give up. And these things will make you stronger. And so when people, and when I always knew there was something I was supposed to do. And then I end up with the duck chapter and everything. And I'm like, did I miss it? And so, when you start looking at, I'm not going to go into my age right now, but when you knew it, it would be like, okay, I feel like every single day is an opportunity to go out there and find what it is. And an acupuncturist once said this to me. And she used to run a hospital in China because they have acupuncture is a much more medical doctor kind of situation in China. She was an amazing woman. And she said, that the majority of people that are in their 50s or 60s will stop learning, and they are set in their ways, and they believe what they believe because they believe that that's what they should believe. Yet, if they start to understand that age doesn't matter, that showing up today does, and that every day is an opportunity to learn something new and to find what it is that is going to fuel their passion, that can change that whole dynamic. So it's a matter of, if someone's feeling stuck in something, then it's a matter of, okay, do you want to buy into your age, or do you want to buy into being stuck, or do you want to grow through it? And that's the first step. And I'm a baby step kind of person. And so, I love when you talk about the ripple effect, because that is how I live my life. And when you think about the ripple effect, it's not just a domino ripple effect. When you think about a true ripple effect, it's a 360 effect. So you might be going in, let's say a 90-degree angle on this thing, but then do you want to go on a 180 on something else, or do you want to go on a 240 on something else? Where do you want to go today? And if you believe that there's a lack of possibility, then you got it. You have a lack of possibility. But if you believe that anything is possible, guess what it is? And so start with who you are today, ask what you want, and then make it happen. Take the baby steps, or half a baby step, or even if you end up taking backward steps, it's still movement, guys. Embrace it, excite, and too many people don't give themselves a pat on the back or shoulder or whatever. And I've been known to be that person at times. Now I celebrate everything. Let's just do it, like that's why I have so much fun stuff. It's like, let's just celebrate that you showed up. If you're watching this show, celebrate yourself right this minute. And then ask yourself, what do I want to do to be a rock star and go out there and make a ripple effect? And realize this, anything and all things are possible. The only limitation is you. That's it.
Well, we want to celebrate you right now because you have an award, because your show is off the charts. And it's the ripple effect because you are doing the difference with your team. And look at that award right there.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Okay, so here it is. It's glass, guys. So I'm going to put it up against and let's see. Make it so you guys can see, but I'll read it here and what it says. And what it says is E360 TV, Best of Service, Let's Talk Fabulous Show 2025. And when we were back in Florida, what really touched me, and I've said this to the team because we do have a larger team. We're all volunteers, and because we believe in our mission. And what I said to them was, it was amazing to me, and this is what shows why we're part of E360 TV. They had one award for a show. They had other awards for, like, the backdrop and such things like this, but they chose one award, and that was Best of Service. That says a lot for our network, that it wasn't the best show or best comedy show or best business show. It was one best of, and it was Best of Service. And there's so many shows that are dedicated to service. And so again, it's this embracing that our network is dedicated to making a difference. So thank you for bringing that up.
It's amazing how time flies. We're almost at the top of the hour, and it seems like we've been on 10 minutes because you have so many golden nuggets. Yeah. Everything that you said is amazing. For those out there that do feel stuck and are striving to thrive, do you have just a couple, 2-3 tips for them that they can immediately start doing that will help them? I mean, you've said a lot already, but do you mind speaking to that?
Absolutely. What I do, I still do. And that is, it's a trick I learned a long time ago, way back in the day. And I take sticky notes. So guys, take sticky notes, and I actually put them up on my mirror in my room, my bathroom. And I will say every morning the things that I have on there, and they're I am statements. And so I am, and whatever that would be, and whatever you're going through, figure out what you are, because and say it out loud. And it all started with, back in the day, it was, I love rejection, because I was a recruiter. So every morning I would start, and I'd look at myself and I'd be like, I love rejection, like, fuel it, bring it on, because, like, I'm going to overcome this. And so if you're feeling isolated and alone, reach out to someone. And if you're feeling inspired to reach out to someone else, if if we can do more reaching out to each other, a text, an email, a phone call, a smile, even to a stranger. Seriously, guys, that energy translates into so much in our lives. And so, like, I love the fact, Janine, that you were so raw. Be willing to keep showing up no matter what. Because if you're feeling inspired to do something, there's a reason for it. And don't let anything, energy, people, anything get in your way. Just baby step it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much
Tamara.
for being on the show. Tamara Hunter, people. Check
Yes.
out her show on E360 TV. Let's Talk Fabulous.
Yes, we're going to put all the links
And we
down
will
below.
see you next time. Rockstar Diaries.
Rockstar Diaries, Healing Out Loud.
Cedar Ridge Acres soap. Why? 'Cause you smell good.
Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, my team and I are happy to help. We work across all price points and specialize in helping clients relocate from anywhere in the country. Give me a call, 214-708-2450.